listeners, and welcome back to Page to Picture. I am your host, Kim, and today I am solo. Tiff is not feeling well, which is completely fine. We hope nothing but the best for Tiff. But today I am actually not completely alone. I have a special guest with me here today, and today's episode is for all of our fans of dark fantasy, slow burn mystery, and emotionally rich heroines. We are so excited because we are joined by a debut author whose story of a city where magic is outlawed, a clairvoyant heroine, and a string of heart-stealing murders absolutely captivated us. Her book, The Lucenta Chronicles, The City of Lost Hearts, is packed with suspense, psychic abilities, grief, forbidden power, and a dangerous investigation that blurs the lines between good and evil. It literally has everything you ever want in a book. It's giving gritty noir energy, ghostly whispers, and a heroine who's walking the line between justice and survival. Please join me in welcoming the incredibly talented H. Louise.
Hi. Hello. Can you write my synopsis for me? That was lovely.
You're like, wait, can you send me that?
Yes.
So I can-
Transcript that, please. That was so nice. Oh my gosh.
Oh, thank you. No, it's true. Your book is has everything you could ever want in a magic. I love the noir energy. I'm vibing off that right now.
Love it.
So it's so good. And this is a full circle moment. Like we mentioned, you were our first official ARC Corner author that we featured on our podcast, on our Instagram page. And the fact that you're here today, it makes me so happy. And I'm just so glad that you're here.
Well, I'm so glad to be here. It's my first podcast, first interview, all of it. So I'm a little bit nervous, but very excited.
No, you'll be fine. This is going to be so much fun. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. So we believe that every author has an origin story, and we want to know yours. So when did you first know that you wanted to start writing? How did your journey begin?
It was a really strange one because I come from a place where I don't think, in my family, I always feel like I shouldn't have been the one that wrote a book, which sounds a bit weird. I
Yeah.
never really thought I would go into writing. I've always been quite a kind of scientific person.
Mm-hmm.
But back in, I want to say it was it was after COVID. And I sort of had a streak of bad things happen in life, to be honest. And it wasn't a very good thing. And literally, I just kind of flipped out and thought, I'm going to do something. And I sat down on New Year's with, I've got a close author friend as well. I'll shout out later. But we sat down and basically did New Year's resolutions. I just said, I'm going to write this book. I'm just going to write a book because I kept thinking of ideas of I'd love to write a fantasy book, getting into fantasy books. I just loved the world of fantasy books, and I only discovered it quite late on. And yeah, I just sort of sat and I said, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it because
And you
I've got time. And I did. It became my life. I did it every evening, every weekend, every second. I'm yeah. So it just kind of came from something a bit grim that I turned it into wow, well, I made a book out of that, so thank you. Hard times, but yeah,
I know.
it's out of nowhere, but
you're and here I am. I wrote my first book, and I know you're on the second one. This is exciting.
Yep.
You actually did your New Year's resolution.
Yeah, no, but I don't know where that came from, and I was just yeah, well, why can't I do it? So I just did it, but yeah, it's a bit of a strange one. Yeah, I can't remember the details of it either, but it was just, I think it was just because it would almost help me process a lot of what was going on in hopefully a healthier way. But I will say it's quite an emotional series. And part two, I'm so sorry in advance, it gets a bit, and book two, they're both pretty grim, so sorry. But yeah. But yeah, I feel
that's okay.
A lot of writers, I feel probably process a lot of emotions by writing. So
yeah, was it very therapeutic for you?
Yeah, it can be. Now that I'm a bit happier and because obviously things happen in everyone's life, but now I'm in a bit of a nicer place. I sometimes write these scenes and it makes me miserable. I'm like, I didn't need that today. So I set myself up really badly.
They're what's wrong? You're I just wrote a really sad scene.
Yes.
I just need a moment to digress.
Yeah, I'd be crying oh, so-and-so's just died. Yeah, sorry. No spoilers, but...
So your book blends mystery, fantasy, and slow burn tension so well. Where do you draw that creative inspiration from? Like the fantasy worlds for me, and I've said this to any author that I talk to that does fantasy books, like it amazes me because I do not have the creative like mind to write stuff like that. But where does it all draw from? Like where's your inspiration to create something like?
I would say I'm the same though, because I don't think I have that kind of imagination somehow. I don't know how
Are you
this
serious?
happened. Genuinely, I have the same feelings. I'm like, well, like I said, I don't think I should have been the one to write because I don't have these amazing, like, unique ideas, but somehow I don't know. But definitely inspiration from lots of different fancy books. So yeah, as you know, I'm obsessed with fancy books. I've read lots of different
Yeah.
ones. But I guess I don't know. I've always been a nerd at heart, to be honest. I think I've got a lot of like different inspiration from different forms of media and like
Yeah.
fantasy. Um, but then the world building itself, a lot of that draws from, I don't know if you know Studio Ghibli kind of like films or anything like that.
Yes. Yes. I
So
love
that
that.
yeah. That's in my mind I always had like Kiki's Delivery Service style towns and things when I was thinking of like Lucenta,
Kiki's
like
Delivery
there you go.
Service. I love that movie. Even to this day, I love it so much. I
It's so
love
lovely.
that movie.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely love
I
it. So,
love
like
that as an
the
inspiration.
feelings,
Yes.
these feelings.
Mhm.
Obviously, it's a bit dark, the whole story, but in the background, the kind of vibes hopefully are getting that a little bit. And like, I don't actually know if I'm honest. But the other thing that I find a lot of inspiration comes from for me is like dreams, and that sounds a bit weird, but I
Mhm.
had some really good dreams while I was writing this, and it would help me write plots. And like, oh my God, like the emotions that come from that dream that I came up with, I want to write that, and then
Yeah.
it would come from that. So that's one of my favorite places to get inspiration is dreams. It's a
So
little
when
bit.
you would have like a dream, would you just like wake up and write it down right
Oh
away?
yeah.
I was
I
like, yeah,
had
because
some really
sometimes
bad
I'll,
sleep for a good few years.
you're like, I gotta write this down.
It's horrible. It's so. I had this last night as well because I'm rewriting book two. We'll come to that.
Right.
I've written it. I'm writing it again because I'm like, oh, you know what? I've been
You're like, I
inspired. I'm going to
gotta
change it.
change.
But I was up all night writing notes. Like, I'm going to write all this differently now. So yeah, pretty much just notebook by the bed and notes app. Like,
I think it's relatable for a lot of authors, honestly. And if Tiff was on here, because Tiff writes as well, she would 100%
really?
agree. She like, yeah, she constantly tells me that she'll like get up at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. and just start like writing things down. And she's like, I don't know where it comes from. It's just like my body wakes myself up and I just have to
Yes.
write. I have to write this down. And then I try to go back to sleep. And she's like, but I can't because now I'm like,
Yeah.
expanding on what I wrote. And I was
Yes.
like, that
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
can't even imagine. I can't even
It's
remember what
not
I
good.
dream. My body won't wake up when I dream. Like I can't even remember anything.
That's yeah, exactly. Like sometimes you like that's the worst thing as well. If you grasp onto a dream and then you just fall asleep and you can't get it when you wake up in the morning, it's like, oh, I had
I
the best idea. It's
know.
all gone. It's
You're like,
awful.
I don't know what it was, but I hope I come
Yeah,
back to it.
yeah, exactly. One day we'll come back.
So what is your writing routine like? Are you like a playlist person? Do you need total silence? Do you set up candles? Do you have tea or coffee? Like what is your, if you know you're going to write, like what is
Mm,
your setup like?
definitely tea. Very British.
Yeah.
Tea constantly, constant streams of tea. Um, I like it changes. I feel like so this evening, like I had a very like if it's sort of the weather's rainy and stuff, it's usually like it's cozy, like sofa, cup of
Mhm.
tea, and for some reason Lana Del Rey has been just constant Lana Del Rey in my
Ooh.
playlist.
That fits the vibes. That definitely
Yeah,
fits the vibes.
yeah, it really brings me down. I'm like, gosh, because there's some Lana Del Rey songs like I've always said like there's one song she does that is like the soundtrack to my book. It's the Say Yes to Heaven one. So I'm like, well, that's a bit depressing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is,
So
but I know. It really is.
disclaimer.
I love when I listen to like a playlist or my music's on shuffle and you're like vibing to like really good
Yeah.
music and all of a sudden like a sad one comes on and you're just like your mood changes
I'm
and you're
writing
like
like
I
a
have to
fluff
kind of,
scene and never mind.
and then I'm like I have to kind of go through this emotion. Let me be
Yeah.
sad for no reason. for no reason
Yeah,
whatsoever.
you just got to do it. You have to do it. It's part of
Yeah,
life.
it's very therapeutic. It's
Indulge.
fine. I'm a big crier. I'm very emotional. Okay, so let's transition to your book. So for those who haven't picked it up yet, can you tell our listeners in like a couple sentences what the Lucenta Chronicles, The City of Lost Hearts is all about? Like what they can expect when they read that book.
Yeah, lovely. Okay, so what I'd probably say is I will say this as a whole book
Mm-hmm.
because part one and part two was not meant to happen. It was meant to be one book.
Oh my
But
gosh. Like
publishing
a
limitations,
massive book, huh? Like,
yeah, that's
because
not plugging right now, but that's what it's meant to look like. So
no,
it's
first of
meant
all,
to
your
be
covers are
chunky.
so cute. I'm obsessed with the coloring. And I think that's what drew me when we first did our arcs was like just your cover alone. I was like obsessed. I love
Oh, no,
it.
thank you.
And the coloring, I love
You
the
did a great
colors.
job.
It's so good. Shout out to your artist who created it. It's
Yeah, shout out.
beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, so it kind of it does sort of like clash with the mood a little bit, but I wanted, colorful girly covers. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. So as a book, I would say so I came up with a bit of a tagline the other day, which is oh gosh, it was I've got such brain fog. Heartwarming romance and heartbreaking mystery, because that's
Yes.
kind of the summary. And I'm so sad that I can't send you part two yet because I can't stress how big the plot twist is and
No,
how
I
how
want
like
it when it's done, when it's the
oh,
best that
done
it
done.
is, when it's
Yeah.
ready. Like that's when I want it because
Yes.
I'm
When
like
it hits hard.
waiting for it. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh my God.
exactly. So it's like I really encourage everyone to kind of read the two of them as they were meant to be one. And one
Hmm.
day, hopefully I can release it as one big book. But yeah, it's kind of like part one sets the scene, part two,
Hmm.
it's all the fluff everyone wants. It's all the romance, it's all the because
Yes.
I'm a sucker for romance, absolutely. But it's also all the hardship. So it's a wild ride. So but
I
yes,
love it. No,
babes,
I love it.
yeah, yeah.
It's almost like when you watch like, when I watched Harry Potter and, the last book was split into 2 movies.
Yes, yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of like that. Like, this is like it'd be
Yes.
nice as, like, one big book, but we gotta, like,
Yeah.
split it up into 2.
We need a
I
breather.
cannot wait. Yes, I cannot wait for your second book because when your second book comes out, I'm gonna reread the first one. I'm just gonna do, like, one consistent read.
Ooh, let me know how that goes. I'll be really interested.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have to do it. I have to do it,
Oh,
and I'm
that's
gonna
a
do it.
commitment. Thank you. Yeah, I wish it wasn't so long, but at the same time, I'm like, it's fantasy. Like, I really wanted my characters to make people feel. I want my characters to have their own, like, full lives and arcs. Like, every single
Yeah.
character has depth and they will keep
Yes.
going into book two and so on. So
You
I
want
think
to
that was
give your
really important to
characters
me.
justice. You want to give
Yes.
them you
Yeah.
don't want to like give them a short end of the stick. Like, oh,
Yes.
this is a little information about you. You want to
Yeah,
give
yeah,
them
yeah, yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
exactly.
respect
Yeah.
that. So what initially sparked the idea for Scarlet? So Scarlet is our main female character,
Yeah.
especially her clairvoyant powers and the mystery of the heartless victims. Like, where did this character come from?
It's really interesting. So Scarlet was the second character I came up with. And I really struggled with the sort of feeling of her for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there's a couple points it came from. So her kind of character with like the clairvoyance and the and also the magic system and everything like that. She's very heavily based on astrology, on spirituality,
Yes.
all those sorts because I'm quite interested in that side of things myself. So like still very new to like crystals and like tarot cards
Yes.
and I've always been fascinated with paranormal, always. So like she's come from a bit of that, and then this sounds really odd, but when I was like immersed in my writing, when I was writing these first two parts, my whole world was like thinking about the book. Like I'd be driving and then thinking of like plot lines while focusing on
Right.
it still. And like I just remember driving through one place and I saw a girl with like really light hair and it was really fluffy and I was like, you,
You're like,
that is the
whoever
vibe
you
I want.
are.
You're going in my
Oh
book.
my God.
Sorry,
I
random
love
girl.
that
Like
so much. You're like, I don't know who you
No one
are.
knows that they're a victim of someone's book.
I don't know what you're like walking around and you're just like,
You've
this shop right
inspired me.
here, you guys right here sitting here. Yes, all this right here
Yes,
is part of my
it's
book.
crazy. I hope so, I hope other people do that. I don't know if that's just a
Yes.
weird thing to say, but
You know
like,
what?
honestly.
We talked to an author, Jade Lamb, and
Mm.
she's out in London as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
And she was telling us her book is like tarot card readings as well. It's like magic, tarot, werewolves, vampires. It's set in
Okay.
London, magic. And so she was telling us that
Okay.
like she's like, I like to think that when I walk around, in London, or if people come out there, they're going to walk around and see a bartender or whatever and think like, you're probably a werewolf or like you're a vampire. Like
I love
this
that.
set, like all these
Oh, that's
people are like
lovely.
actual magic and they're all just pretending to be normal.
I like that. It's
Yeah.
just having like that kind of what do you call it? Like intrigue in the deeper things in the world. I feel like I can
Yes.
see where she's coming from now, and I really like that. I have to read that
That's
book.
fun. And that's like so fun for me. Like my all-time goal, and ever since I was a little kid, was I've always wanted to go to London. So like that is my like on my list of things I
Lush,
always
yeah.
want to do.
Yes.
And I was like, I would be that person. I'd be there and I'd be like, you're probably this, you're probably that. This is
Yes.
probably where they thought of this idea in this book. You know what I mean? And that's fun as a reader,
That, yes.
is that imagination when you're traveling places and you're like, this is like reminds me of this book, or like this is like the same
Yes.
scene. And I think that's
Yeah.
really great. So the
Oh,
fact that
travel as well.
whoever this random person walking was your inspiration, that's
I
awesome.
barely remember her. I just remember her hair. I was like, whoa, your hair, like there it is. It did kind of link in, and you'll see in part two that there are things that link in and make sense about Scarlet. I won't say anymore, but yeah, it kind of went off on a tangent there. But I just remember her being really, because she went through so many different names as well, and Scarlet came from, um, this isn't a spoiler, I don't think. Got to think about that. When she was found, yeah, no, so it's not a
Yes,
spoiler. When
yes.
she was found by her adopted family and she was wearing a red dress, it just came from
Mm-hmm.
that. So I was like, right, plucked. Like, so the rest of it,
Wow.
yeah.
So who
But
was your first character that you knew like you were gonna
it's got funny origin stories. It's Jason.
Really? I was gonna
Yeah,
get when you said Scarlet wasn't your first, my second, I was like, is it Jason? Like, is that who
yeah, it's
you
Jason.
originally
It's
thought of?
Jason. Jason was really interesting to write, and there's a really funny backstory about that. But the thing with Jason is when I first started writing him, I thought I was going to come up with the female character first, but I always struggled with that the most because I feel like female characters you can just go so creative and you can go everywhere. And I thought
Yes.
I don't give male characters enough love, and I love my male characters, like they are so fun to write. But Jason,
Yes.
I was a bit sick of reading the whole like fancy had long, like dark hair down to his
The
shoulders and like
basic,
pecs and like
like, yeah.
stuff again, try not to swear, but like yeah. So when I wrote about Jason, he was meant to be a bit like sharp and like moody and like, you know, he's handsome, but he's also just like he's kind of just a guy and he's more focused on work than he cares about, other stuff. And
Yes.
yeah. And we'll give a shout out because I don't know. You in America, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Do you know Inspector Gadget?
Yes. Did you do it off of him?
It wasn't meant to be. I was talking to my friend about, I'm right, so I've got this detective character. I have a huge thing for detectives suddenly. He's got dark hair and he's wearing a trench coat and she's like,
She's like, is it
I
this
was like,
man right
oh
here?
no, has this awoken something I didn't know?
You're like, hear me out, Inspector Gadget. He's your hear me out.
He's not
That
meant to
is,
look like Inspector Gadget. It's okay, but it's like, that is like my unsaid hear me out. And I'm like,
you're like, whoa. You're
well,
like,
no, I was like, this isn't
I
good, is
didn't
it?
know.
This has come up in a dream. I'm like, okay, this is not good. But yeah. So
I've never heard that. I love that so much.
he's not okay. So I want to get that image out of your mind because I don't know what you see in Jason. I'd be interested to know.
That
Yeah,
is
so
so funny. Oh my god, when I reread it, I'm gonna
I'm so
envision.
sorry.
No, that's fine. I think it's gonna be even more awesome.
It's something
That's
I
so
don't know.
funny.
it just gives you the vibe of like, okay, so he's not a typical fantasy like male character. So
Yes.
if
Yeah.
that helps, but it's not Inspector Gadget. So no stress.
You're like, maybe just like his attire, but just change the like face of like who it
Change the
is.
face, change the art style. You're there.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love that so much. That's
Oh my god.
hilarious. Okay, so what so you obviously this is a big book. You have one and two, but for specifically just book one, what is a scene that you loved writing? Like what is your favorite scene where you were like, this is gold, this is my favorite. I enjoyed whether it like flowed naturally or it just left a strong impression on you. Like, do you have a favorite scene that you wrote?
Yeah. There's a couple that really got me, and the frustrating thing I think with a lot of this is like with part two, it makes so much sense, and oh, it just gets me like,
You're like
can't wait to
at
read
the
it.
bits trying to like get you're
Oh,
waiting to get part 2 out there.
the
You're just
yeah,
like,
I
I
need to get
need
out
to
there, but I can't
I
rush
need
it.
to rewrite this and get it
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, so it's like the Easter eggs when you get the Easter eggs are everywhere. But the two scenes I say are either the ship scene. I love the cruise ship. I love a cruise ship
Yes.
vibe. I love the creepy cruise ship, so that one. And also, I mean, we love the bit where they start to get romantic. I love that. But
Yes.
I don't know, there's I haven't read it for so long. I'm trying to think of like my favorite ones. I really liked there's a scene I really like when they go to the manor where the victim, do you remember there was a victim called Rubia? And
Yes.
they go to her family's manor. There's a scene there that's really touching between Scarlett and like the mother who'd like lost her daughter, and it was like, I know, it just got me in my heart. Um yeah, and yeah, I don't know. I but there is other scenes, and I think other scenes are mainly ones where Argent's in them because I love writing Argent.
Yes.
He's such an ass. Love him, but
I feel like
yeah.
he's my
So
favorite character.
he is, he's really fun, yeah, but I don't know, but I
Well,
can't think of any at the top of my head.
do you know if there was so the opposite version, do you know if there was any difficult scenes where you were just like, I have to keep scrapping this chapter or changing the scene because it's just it's too hard or you just didn't know how it was going to be? Was there anything like that
Mm,
when writing this book?
yeah. I would say, oh, that's a hard one. There definitely is. I feel like most of it is kind of stuff that would come together to make the storyline. So sort of like the filler bits. So like the main
Yes.
Scarlet and Prime just flow really well for me. So there was no issue there. But there's other relationships in the story that I really wanted to hone in on that I felt rushed to do. So that was really hard. But I hope because they're
Because
gonna
you're
be
trying to
very
like put it
important.
all together.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and okay, so I guess as well, any scenes with like sorcery and things like that, I feel like when you're writing a magical story or anything with sorcery, are like, how do I make this different? How do I make this less cliche? Anything with
Yeah.
demons, I don't know why I decided to write about demons because I think it's so like
Why did I do this?
just demon dialogue, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so done with this. So I'm like, how do I make them different? And I didn't do very well at that, I don't think, but they get better. So it's just like, yeah,
Yeah.
demons.
You're just like, if you're going to go all out, just make sure you're ready to go all out if you're going to write stuff
Yeah.
like
I don't know why I
this.
did it to myself, but yeah, it's probably.
Do you, was there any characters, like, did any of your characters evolve in ways that surprised you during your writing process? So, like, did you have a character and then as you're writing your story, you were like, oh, I did not know that you were going to go this way? Like, did you
Mm,
have any characters like that?
yeah, Argent, definitely Argent.
Yeah.
So Argent was meant to be kind of like I don't know how to describe him, but he's a class. I don't know if you've watched any anime, but like
Okay. Yeah.
he
Some.
he's kind of like there's like this trope in anime that you get where there's like the really handsome guy and he's like everyone's got their eyes on him, that kind of thing, like the male protagonist. He was meant to be a little bit like that and a little bit like distraction, and there was a point where Scarlett was meant to have a bit of a crush on him. That never happened, which I'm glad it didn't, because the whole point is she's trying to rebel against Prime as much as she
Right.
can. It's like reluctant love, which we love. That sounds weird.
No, we
Like
do actually.
slow
We do
burn,
love that trope. We love
rivals
it.
to lovers.
Yes.
Yeah, but Arjun, really interesting. He became a lot deeper. He became a lot more complex, especially in part two. And also, it's been nodded to there was not meant to be a relationship between Arjun and another character. So, uh, who is
I
Korean?
love yes.
Yeah.
I love when an author has their main characters and then there's kind of like your side
Yeah.
characters and your side characters end up being like the author's favorites because
Yes,
they end up being like
100%.
my favorite too or like I feel like a lot of readers' favorites where we end up like reaching out to the author and are just like, can we get a side story? Can we get like a novella on just
Yes,
these side
yes,
characters? Can we get a backstory, some like an app, like
yes.
something with these characters?
That'd
So
be
that's
so
I love
interesting.
that. I
Yeah.
love that.
It's like they wrote the story. He wrote the story, his story for me. You just kind of like,
Yeah.
that sounds really silly, but he did. He kind of like led it, and it was like, oh, you fit in there. You weren't meant to fit in there. Let's go with it. And it's kind of made for a very good book too. So there's a lot more about
Yes.
Argent in book two, which would be really good. So
That
yeah,
makes
he's
me
very,
so happy.
I like him.
That makes me so happy. Okay, so getting into some personal reflections. What do you hope readers can take away from reading The City of Lost Hearts, especially when it comes to its emotional and like thematic core? Like, what at the end of the day, when they close that book, what message do you hope that they get from your story?
Oh, weirdly, so there is definitely a message that I won't be able to say until way later on. But for the first books, I would say, oh, I should have thought about this one. I feel like there's a lot of sort of like I feel a lot of like family or relationship values in this book. Like I feel like a lot of it's kind of going back to the importance of the basics and like just being there
Yes.
for each other. And that does carry on in later books. I don't think it's as obvious. In the first books, it's very like dramatic and everything's going on and like you know one okay, here's a very random one that's just come to mind. It's just come to mind. So I'm 30 and me and my friend, we're both 30 and we're just like, I don't want to read any more stories about 21-year-olds. I'm an adult
Yeah.
now. Adult relationships. I wrote an adult relationship, so they're both over 25 and
Hmm.
there's a different dynamic and I think that's something I wanted to see more of that in the fantasy book world where it's less about kind of like I love an enemies to love.
A teenage
Yeah.
girl, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And like I love enemies to lovers, but there's a level of like, right, well, I've grown up now and I know that I could do better than that. Like, a man will treat me nicely and cook me dinner. And
Yeah.
while there is a lot of tropes, I've included a lot of tropes in the romance, like, you know, you will get the kind of like, you know, up against the wall kind of scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more kind of like he's a man and she's a woman. She knows what she wants. They're
Yeah.
developed
We're not playing
individuals and they
games
come
here.
together whole
Yeah.
individuals, like that. I think that's a message that hopefully comes through. Um, and like also slow burn because I've always been a slow burn kind of person. But like I know
Yes.
my books, because they're two separate books, feel a lot more slow burn than they should be, and they're very long. Together, it wasn't supposed to be slow. As slow burn
You're
as it
like,
is
it
anyway.
just
So
so happened to be. And you're like, I'm sorry, but you will enjoy it once it happens.
yes, exactly. Yeah. Once it happens, it's not going to stop because I love writing romance. But the first part, it's just trying to set the scene, right? We'll get there.
Yes. You're like, don't worry, we will get there. Just like any
We will get
relationship, it
there.
takes time. Like, give it
Yeah.
time. But once it's
It'll be
there,
worth
it's
it.
there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So was there something that has surprised you along your writing journey? So from when you first started writing to like where you are now, I mean, you said that you have book two, but you're rewriting it now. So like, was there something that has surprised you with your own writing skills and your writing
Mm,
abilities?
that I can write.
You're like the fact that I'm
As
even
it
sitting
is,
here
I
talking to
don't know.
you about books that I wrote.
Yes.
Like what?
That's 100% massive imposter syndrome. I know a lot of authors say that. I've never, not to kind of shoot myself down. and you don't need to be to write a book. I've never done a writing course or
Mhm.
literature or anything like that. Obviously, I did like the basics. But I've got the basics like spelling, all that kind of stuff, and my writings come from more emotion than um and my writing style's very emotional and flowery, I've been told, and like not in a bad way, but
Mhm.
um I'm surprised that I managed to get the imagination, like we were saying earlier, to kind of put things together and actually make a full
Yeah.
book that closes off at the end. That I'm very proud of myself. Sounds really weird, but I am.
No, as you should be. Like,
It
I know
just
I
comes
could
out of
never do
nowhere.
it. I know
I
I
bet
could
you
not
could
do it.
though.
I don't even try to pretend. I'm just like, "No, that is not." I will happily read it all day
Yeah,
long.
you get the
M
bliss of reading it and not having to struggle with
Yes.
editing because my God, that's awful.
I could not. My
So bad.
sister, Tiff, is the one. She can do it. She has that like, right now, talking with her, she's got, like, 3 different books in her brain, and
Yeah,
she just
yeah.
has that creative I'm just like, "You go, you do that, and you just let me read it when you're done."
Yeah, I'll love to read it when it's done. I love that.
Yeah.
I wish I was there. I'm doing both, to be honest. I'm
Y
like reading on one side someone
Yeah.
else's book, then my book on the other side, and then
Yes.
yeah. But definitely just yeah, I don't know where it really came from if I'm honest. But also the fact that it's kind of I guess I'm surprised by how many Easter eggs I put through the whole thing. I managed to write a mystery. Like I've never read murder mystery.
Yeah.
I used to be like super against watching dark things and everything like that.
Mhm.
But so like and when I wrote this book, like there's a lot of death, there's murder, all
Yes.
kind of stuff. And I was like, how did I write that?
You're like, "Where did this come
I
from?"
don't know where it
You're
came
like,
from. Yeah.
"What?"
I know. So yeah, that was surprising, honestly. But there's some banter in there still. So
No, I love that. I love that you literally just woke up and you're like, "I'm gonna write a book."
a murder
And here
mystery.
we are. Yes.
Yes, yeah.
So
Exactly.
this is a great question now. So, like, what advice would you give to new or aspiring writers, especially those who want to write dark fantasy, mystery elements? I mean, you're like, you were just like, I just did it. So, what what advice would you give those
Yeah.
who are kind of scared, who don't know
Yes.
what to do, where to start? I mean, what can you tell them?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still scared every day, if that helps, but I'm still a massive imposter. I would say if you're in a position where you are having a hard time, use that. I wouldn't welcome hard times with anybody, so don't welcome it. But if you're there, use that as something to empower you to create something from that. And actually, because when you get the product at the end and you hold your book, you're like, oh my gosh, there's something about writing a book that makes you feel very complete. Like you've accomplished a
Yeah.
massive goal in life. I never thought I would accomplish that. I never thought I would want to. Um,
Right.
and it's sort of filled a massive, wow, something I never knew I
Yes.
wanted to do. And then apart from that, definitely find sort of talk to people. Say, I love this. I'd love to write a book on this. Talk it out, like talk out your
Mm-hmm.
plots, have a good chat with a close friend, and like the things you come up with, you can like go off in all sorts of directions, and then you'll be like, I feel that one, and go for the one you feel emotionally connected to, and then you're like, it will lead the way. I feel like,
Yes. You're like, there's things. There are things, there are people, there are signs, things to help you.
yes,
Just do
read the
it and
universe.
yes, I love
Hmm.
that so
Yeah,
much.
100%. Find that random girl walking down the street and say, I want you and my character. Your
You are my
hair is my
energy,
main
you
character's
are the
hair.
character. Yeah.
You've written my book, thank you. Yeah, not that creepy, but
I love that so I know, as you mentioned, you're working on book 2. What can you tell us without giving too much of a spoiler? Is there
yeah,
anything you can tell us about it?
yes. So just to confuse everybody, and this does confuse myself as well, I constantly do this. We've got book one, part one and part two, book two, novella, book three. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be long.
I
Um,
am so excited
yeah.
for you.
So I've written book one's out. Part two, I'm finishing off the kind of pre-final edits. Book two, I have written and
Mhm.
I'm going to rewrite, so that's a bit more down the line. But part two, which will be hopefully out in the next 3 to 6 months, I hopefully sooner than later.
Yes.
Um, big plot twist. It's gonna write the story, because there is a story. It's not clear where it's going, so I'd be really interested to see if you've got any predictions as well. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so what comes up, but yeah, it gives you an answer that answers everything. It's emotional. Like I made people cry reading and I feel really bad. And I
Do not
cry
feel
every time I
bad.
write it.
As a crier, do not feel bad. Like, that is the
Yes,
emotion. I love a
you
book that will make
you
me
need it.
cry. So don't.
Yeah, but
I
so much
tell
romance.
people, I'm like, I want a book that will wreck me, that will make me cry.
Oh no. You got it.
I love these kind of books. Yeah, no, I love those kind of books.
Yeah.
I love a book that will literally give me all these emotions. And that's, I think, as
Yes.
readers, that's what you want, is a book that will
Yes.
give you
Yeah.
emotions. You're not just reading like blank words, right?
Yeah.
Words that
Yeah.
you're just like, what am I even reading about? I love a book that will wreck me, please make me
Cleanse
cry.
your soul. It is
Yeah.
cleansing though, isn't it? But like, I mean, that's the, if I, it sounds awful. If someone cries reading it, I cried writing it. So then that, and reading it back. So I
Yeah.
know I've done the right thing there. I know I've got the feeling in the
You're like, we're
words.
connected.
Yeah.
We are
Yeah.
connected if we all
But
cried.
yeah, for anyone that's read part one and anyone that's like about to read part one, there will be lots of romance. It's fluffy as heck.
Yes.
It's super fluffy. And book two, not part two, but book two, we will get to
Hmm.
Spice. So we will get
I
there.
love that. I
Yeah.
love it. I'm excited. Okay, so before we get into our this or that game, we have to take a like sidetrack moment and talk about paper towns.
Oh my God,
Please.
yes. Yes. This will be really interesting, right?
Okay, so you said that you were listening to our episode of Paper Towns. Tiff and I did Paper Towns. We read the book, we watched the movie. It was not our favorite. It was down
Yes.
as it was last on our
Yeah.
list of our. What is your thoughts on Paper Town?
Oh, so yeah, so I'm gonna finish it. I feel really bad. I haven't got a chance to finish it yet because I was traveling today. But I'm really
Mm-hmm.
interested to hear what you're going to say because I read the book first, and this
Mm-hmm.
was when I was in my 20s, and like, um, it was 20s were a bit of a crazy time to be honest. I think writing the time I wrote this book was when I fully like matured. I'm like, right, I'm settled. But Paper Towns
Right.
is like proper like high school read.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
remember just which way round was it? I remember reading the book first and the ending. Like, first of all, personally, I hate Manic Pixie Dream Girls. Despise. I despise that trope.
Seriously.
Hate it. It's so done. Not for
Oh
me.
my
I'm
god.
such a
I wish Tiff was here. She just like we
bring
are
her back
not
when
for
she's
that.
well.
Like
We'll rant about it.
we are
I
not
love
for
Jim
that.
Green as well, though, so I feel really bad. I love his book, so
Yes,
probably,
Tiff.
isn't it? Yeah.
She was like, please do not get me wrong. I have nothing against the
Yes.
author. This was not our cup of tea. We did not
No.
like this. No, it just was not it for us.
It was the ending for me. Like the rest of it is like it could lead somewhere, but the ending was just like what I will say is I preferred the book ending to the film ending because she she got the shit she deserved in the book because she messed so many
Yes.
people around and
Yeah.
it was like you cannot just go through life being chaotic and just your like habit in your wake and then expect everyone to just fall at your feet. And then in the film she
Yes.
just it was so flat in the film and like yeah the acting no.
I can't. I don't enjoy her. I don't know. I don't like her. We just
Personally, she was
don't
my
like.
favorite part of the film. No, because there was another guy that was actually okay, but like the main guy was just like the whole time. I'm like,
The Nat. Well,
where's the emotion,
yes.
boy? Come on, like, wake up. Mm.
The movie, I watched the movie and I was just like, this is so annoying. She
Yeah,
annoys me. He
yeah, yeah,
annoys.
yeah.
The only one I love Justice Smith, which is one of his friends in the movie, because I love
Yes,
him as an actor. The side actors are like my favorite actors, but the two
yes, yeah. They
main
were the
are
best
not my.
ones in the film. The leads were just like, yeah. We had like, she's oh god, what's her name again? I've forgotten her name.
Cara
Cara
Divine,
Delevingne.
something
That's
like.
it, is it?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So she, I think it was like the first time I knew who she was, but I was like, oh yeah, she knows she's pretty and like good for her. But like
Yeah.
that seemed to be I feel like she can act better than that, but it seemed to be what carried the film or the directors made carry the film. And it was
Mm-hmm.
almost like it was that classic kind of teenage boy looking up to a female and thinking more of them that they're a human being. Like
Yes. Yes.
don't put them on a pedestal and like but there was no kind of like satisfying realization of like, oh, you're a human being, you're imperfect, and like,
was telling Tiff when I so before I read the book and before I watched the movie, because we had just my husband and I had just finished watching A Fault in Our Stars because that was one of our
yes,
episodes.
oh my gosh, yeah,
And he sat down and watched it with me, and he was so mad because he was like crying. He's like, "How dare you make me watch this movie with you?"
oh my gosh, yeah,
And
that was
he
a good
was
one.
like, "What other movies are you watching?" I was like, "Okay, we're gonna watch Paper Town." So we pulled the trailer up, and when I watched the trailer, I was like, "Oh, maybe I will like it." I don't like her, but maybe I'll like it because I thought it was gonna be like a mystery, like
Yes, it had
a
so much
murder,
potential.
kidnapping. Yes,
Yes,
that's what I thought.
yes, and like
Read the
the
book,
vibes
and
of Paper Towns.
I
Oh,
read the book, and I was like, "Oh, this is not what?"
not what
And
I
I
thought it was
watched
gonna
the
be.
movie. Yeah. I was like,
Yeah,
"You guys got me. That trailer got me because I thought it was gonna go
you
one
called
way."
me
And if
in,
I
you lied to me.
I was so mad. I was mad that
Yeah.
I paid the $3.99 to rent this movie.
Oh, yeah, not worth it. And
So
also,
mad.
it is, it's so annoying. And like, I agree with you. Like, and you reminded me, like, the paper towns aspect was the thing that drew me in, whatever. We don't have paper. I don't know if it's a real thing. Is it a real thing? Paper towns?
I never really knew that existed. Like,
Yeah. So I don't
I
know if
had
it's
no
real,
idea. I
but
don't
like,
know.
I have a fascination, like, listen, my books, I have a fascination with anything abandoned, like derelict, that kind of
Yes,
feeling.
yes.
And that was like, oh my gosh, that's such a creepy vibe. I love it. Let's see where that goes. But you're right. It should have been a mystery.
If
Yeah.
it was like that, I would have like I think if it ended
Yeah.
up being like a mystery, her disappearance, a kidnapping, something,
Yeah.
I think I would have enjoyed it way more. The ending just made me so mad in both
So
aspects. Like,
flat.
how dare she ask him to stay? How
Yeah.
dare she ask him to I was
Yes. Just
like,
entitled. Like, yeah, it really
excuse
annoyed me about like just it was just the manic pixie dream trope, dream girl trope in like
yes.
all its worst light. And it's like, right, this is age now. We're moving on. Like,
Yeah,
messed that up for me.
I don't know. And I think if I can remember correctly, this one came out John Green, I think, wrote it, or the movie came out right after Fault in Our Stars, something like that.
Oh,
And I
yeah, maybe.
feel like maybe because Fault in Our Stars was so successful
Mm.
that they thought that this film would be
We'll just
successful,
carry
like
off it.
riding
Yeah.
on that. Yeah, no, and it was no, please.
No.
It was
Yeah, no, I was
not.
there. I was like, because yeah, Fault in Our Stars and like his other books I've really enjoyed. And like, I thought, oh, yeah, exactly the same thing.
Yes,
I was more satisfied by the ending of the book, I will say, because I feel
yes,
like she deserved to be told that she was doing something wrong. And I can't really remember the
yes,
ending, but it was,
agreed.
she got, yeah. Mm.
I agree. Enough said. Like, I totally agree.
Enough
Yeah,
said, yeah.
in the podcast, Tiff and I were like, we could have done so many other different John Greens. And I
Oh,
told
yeah.
Tiff, I was like, sometimes when we pick our episodes, we try to stick with a theme for the month.
Mm,
And we just pick random that we think all flows. So this one was YA emotional, right? Books.
yeah.
And I was like, not everyone is gonna be aces. Like, we're not gonna love each one. There's gonna be some that we hate, and that's okay. And
Mm,
that's why we do this podcast. That's why
yeah. Yeah.
if every episode was we love this 5 out of five,
Yes.
five, like
Yeah.
that'd be boring. No, no, we need stuff
Yeah.
that are
You just
question
don't
mark.
know, do you? Like, I've got to say, like, a lot
Yes.
of top books that are coming out nowadays, I don't know if it's my age, but like, I'm finding like they fall really flat, a lot of them. And I'm just like, oh,
Yes.
I was expecting so much. Like, the social media just builds it up so much. I know no book's perfect. You're not going to make everyone happy, but like,
Yes.
yeah, I've started personally going for things like lesser known because they tend to impress me more. I'm like, why is no one talking about this? Like, this
Yeah.
is great.
We
Um,
tell Tiff and I tell each other all the time, and we've even told our book clubs, like, we love our big name authors, these big name
yeah.
books. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes when we read it, it was like, why was this hyped up the way it was?
Yeah, you sometimes go back and yeah, especially
And
like YA stuff.
yeah, and now we are more fans of indie authors. We love your guys' books,
That I love that.
1,000%. I'm like,
Yes.
these are the books I want to read. Like, they're so
Yeah.
different. I feel like they're more pure, more
Mm.
raw. There's more emotional.
Unedited, kind of
Yes,
like, yeah, they haven't been like putting all
yes,
the gift wrap ready to go on the like what
correct.
you know the masses kind of thing, isn't it? That is a
Yes.
really good idea, actually.
We
Yeah.
love it. We love indie author books. I love them more
Mm,
now than I ever thought I would have. And also because you guys all write different tropes, different genres, right? So
mm,
like during this podcast, I've read pirate themed books, which I never thought I would read. I love them. I wish there were more pirate themed books, and there
love it.
isn't.
Yeah.
I've read more like mystery novels, fantasy novels, romance novels that aren't so like the Sarah J. Maas stuff, ACOTAR and
Yeah.
Fourth Ring. I love those books too. We love them, but sometimes they're just too much. It's a
Yeah. Yeah. I
lot.
know. Yeah.
So reading other kind of fantasy and romantasy and all these different things, it's like a nice fresh of breath air, and it's like
Mm,
almost like a
yes.
palate
Yeah.
cleanser for us.
Yeah, for sure.
And it kind of helps us start reading other like, okay, I love this book, so let's keep reading. And then also what I love doing these podcasts and interviews is authors will give us the book that they're talking about, right? Like, oh, this is
Mm.
book 3 of our that we would like to promote. Awesome, let's do it. We have loved their books to the point where I've like gone to their back catalog and read all their other books.
Love
And
that.
I would
Yeah. Yeah.
never have done that if we didn't know about
Yeah.
indie authors, if we didn't know
It's
art
so
books
sad,
were
isn't it, though? Like, indie authors,
yes.
like, I'm feeling because I'm not doing this for money at all. There's something about, like, I like the kind of like emotion held in my book. I'm like, I just want to
Yes.
share this feeling, like the feelings I get from
Yes.
this book. And like, but like you're saying, you promote, you're prioritizing indie authors and things. Even as an indie author, I'm like, find indie authors. Like as a reader, I don't come across indie authors often, and like that, there's something wrong with that. Like, there needs to be a way beyond social
Yes.
media or like a different, separate
I
platform that pushes
agree.
them out because social media, it's not for everybody. It's exhausting. It really is. And
Yes.
it's just so demoralizing as an indie author to like put out so much work for the algorithm to like just put a wall up against you.
Yes. You're like, how
It's
did I
so
only have
tiring.
like 20 people are looking at this? Like, what is happening?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
it
yeah. Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
No,
Like maybe like a book
it's
club, definitely. So like any
oh
recommendations, let
yeah.
me know 100%.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. My sister and I are in a book club, and it's our family, it's our cousins. Like we found that we
Love
all
that.
secretly love reading books, and we never all talked about it
Yeah, why is that a thing?
until
Why
one
is
day
that
we
a
were at a
thing?
we were at a family reunion, and we were talking about I think it was Colleen Hoover.
Yeah.
It Ends With Us, because that
Yeah.
was the time it was coming out, and then it all sort of like it all just came out. Like they were like, "Well, have you read Verity?" And we're like, "Yeah." And we're like, "Wait, you read?" It was kind of like, "Wait, you read
You
books?" And it
read?
was like, and
Yes,
then
it
we
is
started
a
a
thing, isn't
book
it?
club. Yeah,
Yes.
like it's hidden.
But
Why is
that's
it
so
hidden?
lovely
Why are we
though.
hiding it?
I love that it's your
Um,
family doing that.
yeah, our
So
cousins,
nice.
and we all get together. Now we get together every month and we do a book club, and we pick a book. One person picks a book and we read it. And because of these indie authors and the art books we're getting, I'm like throwing it out. I'm like, you guys need to read this book. And they're like, oh, we've never heard of it. Yeah, you've never heard of it because it's an
Yeah.
indie author. You're going to
Yeah.
be obsessed and you're going to want more. There's
Yes,
other
yeah.
books besides the ones that you can just buy at like Barnes and Noble
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like at Target or Walmart,
There is a
right?
world beyond, yeah, like,
Yes.
yeah, Barnes and Noble, like it goes beyond that. And it's so like you just don't think
Yes.
about it. Like sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna run out of fantasy books. And you're never going to because
They're
there's so many
there.
people writing, creating, and it's like exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like those are the books. One of my favorite books that I discovered like last year, and like it was like I think like uh Akamath or Silver Flames or something that was my favorite at the time, and it's still definitely up there.
Mm-hmm.
But I read this book, and I think it's indie author. I don't know, but I'd never seen it in a bookshop. You could only like get it off Amazon, so I'm like, it must be.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's one of the best books I've ever read. I was like,
Isn't that
why are you
crazy?
not talking about this?
Yeah.
It's
It
frustrating.
is
Yeah,
crazy. It is very frustrating. I feel frustrated for indie authors. I'm
me
just like,
too.
how are you?
And as an indie author, yeah,
Yeah, I'm just like, what do you mean? Like nobody really knows these books exist. They're so good. Um, So I'm glad that Tiff and I are able to do this platform for you guys.
Yeah,
And
it's
like
so
I said,
lovely. Yeah. Thank you.
that like this interview, it's a full circle moment because your book was honestly probably one of the first ARC books that we applied for
Wow, really?
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and I don't even know how we came upon, like, I don't even know how we
Yeah.
came upon it. It just so
Mm,
happened to be.
it was fate.
And yeah, and it was like one of the very first arcs that we featured. And that you honestly, your book was the beginning of Arc Corner, and you
Love,
are the one that started this journey for like all indie authors.
love
That's how I
that.
feel for this
That's
podcast.
lovely. That's so lovely. That's a yeah, massive compliment. And
Oh
if
my
I
god, I
deserve
love
it,
it. No,
just
you do. I
say
loved it.
I am so grateful because I just remember when you guys mentioned me on the podcast, I just remember being like freaking out and I was like going to my
You're like,
partner like
what?
I'm just a small town girl over here like
No, I love it. And I love that you're here and that we're able to talk about this, your books, and that um I'm so excited for what you have coming up. And I feel like a lot of readers are going to be excited too. And we can't wait to just keep talking
same.
about your books and help sharing it. And
Thank you.
I
Yeah.
can't wait to get your books. And I'm going to read it like
Uh,
continuously.
yeah, you'll be
I'm going to
you
binge it.
obviously you guys will be my arcs as long as you want to read it.
Of course,
But it should
please.
be with
Yes.
you soon. So
I'm
yeah,
so
it should be with
excited.
you soon, definitely.
Okay, so let's get into a fun little game that we do before we
Oh,
wrap things up. Rapid fire, don't think too hard.
no, okay,
So
okay.
if the City of Lost Hearts was being turned into a movie or TV show,
Yeah.
who would you
Yeah.
cast as Scarlet and Jason? Who would So she's like the girl who was walking and Inspector Gadget. No.
Yeah, it's done, it's done. That's exactly it though, because like who looks like a medical? So you're so lucky that you've mentioned this, like, because I have just done this, thank God. But Scarlet, in my heart, for some reason, I haven't seen someone like now that it would be, but
Uh-huh.
in my head, it's always been a young Michelle Williams, like Dawson's Creek era. I
Yes.
don't know why, but I just get that
Oh,
vibe.
I love that. I
Um,
love her.
yes, yeah. Oh,
Oh, that's
she's
so
so cute.
good.
I just got that vibe, and like she had like the eyes and everything. I was like, yes. And then yeah, Jason Prime. I don't know. I don't know. Do you have anyone in your mind? Because
I
I,
don't know. I have a hard time. Like, I don't know. I
yeah.
have a hard time when I read it. I love when I know I'm gonna read a book and the author posts like uh is of their like, oh,
Yes.
if you like Henry Cavill, then this is the character.
Oh,
This is who
yeah.
you should imagine for. So like when I see that, that's who I'll picture when I read it. But when I read it blindly, I just
Yeah.
like there's like
I
blank
need
images in my
images of
head.
the characters. I'm like, I can't do it otherwise. So, like
Yeah.
the drawn version is in my head. I'm like, yeah. So the only thing I've come close to thinking, yeah, that's good, is have you ever watched Gilmore Girls?
Yes. Is it okay, Jesse or
Oh. So good, like an older Jesse. If he was taller, that would have been so good. So it's actually, again, it sounds really weird, a young Luke.
oh my god, I love
I've
that
got a thing for Luke.
too.
But like, facially isn't anything like Jason, but it's because he's got that kind of grumpy look about him.
Yes, yes,
I was
yes.
like, that could work. Yeah. But that's the
Let's
closest I've gotten. But yeah, I'm such a Jesse person. Definitely.
Oh
With
yeah,
like
I'm like
the Dean haircut. Oh my God.
are
That's the
you
haircut you're
kidding
supposed to have.
me? I am total team
Are
Jesse
you Dean?
1000%. Yeah.
Are
No, no,
you? I love
Jesse.
it.
No, Jess. I
You're
was
Jesse. I was
Jess.
gonna say
No, I'm sorry, Dean.
cute
No.
though.
Yeah, I mean like it is what it is, but
Yeah.
people say they love him in Supernatural, which I have never
Yes.
seen.
I've not seen it. I keep
But
being recommended it. I should probably watch it, but
yeah, people keep telling us all the time, you guys have to watch Supernatural. And I'm like, they're like, just watch the first 5 seasons, I think, because after that, it like dies off.
just
It
the
gets,
first 5 seasons.
there's 13 seasons.
Oh my gosh, no.
And
That's a
so I
lot.
was
That's a
like, I can't
commitment.
watch, I was like 13 seasons.
Like
And
Grey's
people are,
Anatomy, isn't it, really?
oh my gosh,
Oh,
people are
God.
like, no, just watch the first five because after the fifth season, it gets weird. Like,
Really?
it's like they just did it to keep it going instead of
Oh
like
no,
ending it where
yeah.
it should.
Okay.
No, but
I'll bear that in mind.
I am Team Jess
Mm.
100%. I love
Oh my
Gilmore
God.
Girls.
Yeah. I love Gilmore. Yes, like I want to say that there's like little bits of Gilmore Girls vibes are not in the city because like that's always in the back of my
Yeah.
mind all the time. I loved it. And like yeah, but yeah, if Jesse, no offense, Jesse, if he was taller and like had and I deliberately gave Jason that 90s like Leonardo haircut
Yes,
because it
yes.
pisses Scarlett off and that's why it's
Yes.
really
You're like, you have to
he's
change his
supposed
hair
to
if you're
annoy
gonna
her.
do it.
So we'll do that. I don't know how it'll look, but there you go. There's a bit of an idea there. It's a good thought. Good thought.
What was the last book you read, or what are you currently reading right now?
I'm currently reading The Serpent of Serpent. Oh my gosh. Serpent of Wings of Night? The Serpent and the Wings of Night. It's got such a confusing title.
Oh,
But I'm only like a third of the way through, but what I will say is I just finished reading the Everflame series and it was impeccable. It was
the
really good, so I
Everflame
need to
series.
check that
I'm
out.
gonna look. Everflame series.
What's that? He
Ooh, this looks fun.
Oh, you thought my book was longest. Oh, I invested like 75 hours of audiobook from that.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
the three books. It's very long, but it's really good. And the characters are like really like, yeah, I love characters. Great
The
characters.
cover alone makes me love it.
It's really
Sparklo
good.
he oh, it's so good. I love this.
Hey, yeah.
And it's an audible. I love a good audiobook. Like, give me an
I
audiobook
need
every
that.
day.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a fraud.
Same.
I do read, but audiobooks most of the time now because I'm
No,
so
I'm the same.
busy.
It's audiobooks is
Life.
reading. It counts. It counts in my
Oh,
in my head.
exactly. I would love to get an audiobook for this, but like I don't know how I'd be able to afford that. And I hate my voice, so I can't do it.
I love a good audiobook. I especially because I don't have the time a lot of time to sit here and just
Yes.
read.
Yeah.
So I have to listen when I'm driving. I
Yeah.
work a
Yeah.
9 to 5 when I'm at my
Yeah.
desk. I'll have my headphones in and this is like
Exactly.
my
Yeah.
time. They're
Yeah.
like, "Oh,
Yeah.
this book is 13 hours." I'm like, "Cool, I'll be done in 8 hours." Like I'll get 8 hours in. Like it's fine.
Yeah. Exactly. Like life gets in the way. I just love that they exist, to be
Yes.
honest. But that's something I wish indie authors could have like the means, like we do with like Amazon publishing, to make it easy to make
Yes.
audiobooks because that accessibility makes it harder,
Yes.
obviously. If you don't have time to sit down with the books very often, but yeah, one day maybe I'll
I
get
hope, I
an
hope,
audiobook.
I manifest
Yeah,
for you that one
manifest
day
it. Yeah, 100%.
I manifest, and I hope it's like a graphic audio because I think your book would be
Oh,
so good as a graphic
oh,
audio.
oh,
I'm
like a
obsessed with
kind of
graphic audios.
dramatized version, is it?
Yeah. So when I
Oh.
read Fourth Wing
Mm,
before okay, so before Onyx Storm came out, I had never read it, right? I never read any of them. So my sister was like, "You need to start so that when Onyx Storm comes out, you're fully prepared."
yes.
And I was like, "These books are too long for me. I can't do it." She's like, "Go to graphic audio, listen to it. You will love it. You'll be like immersed into the world
Yes.
of that." And
The
I did.
immersion. Yeah.
I was in it. You could
Oh
hear
my gosh.
breath, you could hear a twig snap, you could hear the sound
Oh,
of the
really? I've never done
yes,
this. I've
it's
never heard
so
any.
if
Oh
you
my
do an
gosh.
audible and you're in the fantasy world of audibles, look for a graphic audio. If you it's so good. Just to be immersed. I
That's
did it
such a
with
good idea.
Akatar also.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I highly recommend it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's so
Oh,
good.
definitely.
You
Yeah.
feel immersed into this world. You feel like you're watching it if it was like a movie or
Oh,
TV show.
I've got to try that.
It's
Yeah.
so good. They do
That's so
really
important
well.
for some books, isn't it, as well? Like, yeah.
Yeah, because if
Oh,
I just
yeah,
listen to
definitely.
one person talking and I'm just like,
And then they
I
go to man
can't.
voice and you're like, oh, no.
Especially when there's a spice scene, I'm like, this is
Oh
weird.
gosh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bad times that.
Like this
We
is
all have to
so
go
weird.
through that.
Like this is
This
so
is why
weird.
I'll never narrate my audiobooks on
No,
no, no.
I remember when I first started, I used to be against Audible because I think that's how I always thought they were. It was just one narrator.
Right, yeah.
And my sister was like, no, are dual narrators. Like you can find it. You just have to look. So she gave me one to start with. And she's like, here's a dual one. Start it. I was like, cool. Obsessed. I fell in love. I was like, I love this. And then I went on my own and started looking for my own. And I found a book I wanted to read. It was one person. And I told my sister, I was like, I don't like this at all. She's like, no, you have to. you have to click it. It'll say who's talking, who's narrating, and
Oh,
that's how you'll
I see,
know.
yeah.
And I was like, okay. So that's how I have to try to do it now.
It's so hard to get your head around. I do try to convince people, but it is just like, even then, like, I remember listening to one of these audiobooks recently, and it was like a 35-hour audiobook. And we went the whole thing. It was
Yes.
like the same narrator. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm used to this. We got to hour 32, and suddenly this random man started talking. I was like, and it was just like, get out of my audiobook. And he was just like, he suddenly had an English accent. I'm like, where did you come from? Like, who are you? I'm sorry,
You're
but
like,
it
you're
just threw me
ruining
right
my
out.
you're like, I've been doing this for 32 hours. What are you doing here?
I was settled. I was used to it and lost the trust, honestly. Yeah, I'm with
Oh my
you.
god, that's so funny.
Oh
Okay,
dear.
so what is your all-time favorite movie and your all-time favorite TV show?
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's big.
Yeah.
Oh,
One that like
movies.
that that no matter what, if it's on, you will stop what you're doing, you will happily watch it. It is like your all-time favorite. No matter how many times you rewatch it, you still love it.
That is such a good way of putting it. Movie, for some reason, I always struggle to choose my favorite movie. I did a post on this recently. I've completely forgot my maybe. I can give you like series, 100%. Those are much easier, but movies I really struggle with. Obviously love Harry Potter and stuff like that. All those kind of childhood films, anything like
Yeah.
that's nostalgic for me, and rom-coms. Like one of my favorite rom-coms was Harry Met Sally. I just love that one.
Yes, classic.
Lee. Yeah, I love a rom-com. And series, it's a bit rogue. I won't like.
No, go ahead. I
I
can't wait.
oh gosh, they're like childhood series that are like my favorite. But like one of them inspired my love for fantasy, and it's so rogue, but it's an anime back in the 90s called Slayers. It's so rogue.
Wait. No, you hold on. I have to see the cover real quick. I have to see it.
If you know what this is, I'll be so happy. It was
I- My okay. I think I only know this because my cousins watched this on a constant when we were growing up. And that's
yeah,
the yes. Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
god.
It's very rogue. I don't know how it reached me in the UK because I used to live in America actually when I was younger, but
Okay.
like I didn't know Slayers back then, but like I just discovered it and it was much bigger in America than it was ever here. And it never
Yes.
reached here. It was really big in Japan. But anyway, it's just like it's so like classic D&D and like fantasy.
Mhm.
But that's what gave me my love for fantasy, but also personally I think one of the best romances. Best slow burn. So I was like, that's my love
I
there.
love
Um but like yes, there was a big thing there. And then another series that I really love just because it's so creative, I'd recommend to anybody that also inspired like me to write murder mystery is a
Mhm.
series called Ashes to Ashes. And it's just
Wait.
great. It's a
Ashes to
British, it's
ashes.
BBC. Um,
Okay.
and it's a little bit the thing is I loved it when I watched it. It was 2000 like 7, 2008. It's deliberately dated, let's put it that way. So it's a little bit what you call dark romance now. It's got one
Yeah.
hell of a hear me out, I tell you. It's got one hell, but the story, my gosh, it like my book. Sorry, not trying to like be like,
No, you're good.
it's got a big twist, and that's what kind of like sold it for me. I was like, it suddenly becomes very emotional. Um, and it was just like there's more to the story than like the mystery, but I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so interesting. Yeah,
Oh, I
they're very
love
80s though.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so
No, I love that. I love your TV series. I love that you love anime. That's so cool. Like, I feel like
that's
a lot of people
good.
don't talk about it
Yeah,
enough,
yeah,
or they don't
yeah,
like reveal. It's kind of like hidden. Like nobody really talks about
yeah.
it.
It's so different now because I used to watch it literally since I was 7 years old. So I'm OG anime fan, like all the Ghibli, all that.
Yeah.
And like I just kind of stopped watching it when I grew up in like teenage years after that
Mm-hmm.
because it kind of went a bit off. But I just
Yes.
started getting back into it recently, and there is some amazing work they've done now. And they've done a new mystery anime that I've been watching, and I think it's called like Anime of the Year. I would recommend to anyone, despite the fact it's like anime, people might not watch anime. It's just
Right.
incredible. And that's what's inspired me to rewrite book two because the
Oh my
mystery
God.
is just so well done. Like they just think about everything. I was like, wow, I need to do this. I need to think about this. And
I love that.
yeah, has inspired.
my son, he okay, so Tiff's daughter, oldest
Mm.
daughter, she loves anime. Like her birthday parties are like anime themed. So like it's cool. Like she loves it. And then my son, who's 11, he always thought it was kind of weird. Like it was hard for him to watch it, but then his friends really like it and that like
Yeah.
intrigued him. So I'll come
Yeah.
downstairs and he's like watching, like for the first time, he's watching Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, throwback. Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Good for
And
him.
I was like, what are you doing? And he's like like backlogging
Mm.
to the beginning. And I was like, oh my God, what are you watching? And he's like, Dragon Ball Z. He's like, my friends love it. And I want to get into what they are watching. And I really like it. And I was like, that makes me so happy.
That's so sweet. And
My
it's like that's
husband's like
like a
so
solid,
happy. Yeah.
yeah, that's a solid anime. Good for him.
Yeah. And I was like, this is good for him. My husband's like so happy. He's like, oh my God, finally, here we are. Like, it's happening. He's
That's so
growing.
lovely. Oh,
Yeah.
I love it.
It's cool. Like, I think anime, it's very, a lot of people don't talk about it. So the fact that you say like that helped inspires you, and that's also like
Weirdly,
one of your favorite
yeah.
TVs. Yeah, I
Yeah,
wouldn't
people
have guessed
misunderstand
that.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed it.
it's I people don't get it. I
Yeah.
keep it hidden really. I don't keep it hidden, but I just don't think I don't know, I think because it's got like sometimes it gets a bad rep, but
Hmm.
you've just got to kind of be aware of like the fact that you've got these beautiful Studio Ghibli films like Kiki's Delivery Service, and that can be in series form. And like
Hmm.
I don't know, like there is such amazing stories out there, and it just happens to be in this form. So it's like, what I wouldn't not watch a live action or a cartoon in this kind of form. So why not, kind of thing.
Yes,
Yeah. So
I love it. No, Kiki's Delivery Service is honestly my favorite. I love all of these. I don't remember ever, I don't know how I started watching it when I was younger. I think it was just like on TV and there was something about her and just the way it was like
so
the way
whimsical.
it looked. I was just like,
Uh,
what is this? And
it's like a warm
I
hug.
love it.
Hug.
Yeah.
It's so lovely. 100%. If I have kids, I'm just raising them with Ghibli. Honestly, I just
You're like,
so lovely.
this
Yeah,
is what you're gonna watch. You're gonna love
you're
it.
gonna like it. You're gonna
Yeah,
enjoy
you're
it.
gonna like it. Okay, so murder mystery or an epic quest? She's
Uh,
like, can we have both?
oh yeah, both. I'm gonna go for murder mystery because that's my vibe at the moment. Sounds really weird, but I'm loving the mystery kind of like
Yes,
thoughts
I
kind of
love a
going
good
in there.
I love a good whodunit, like a murder mystery. That is probably one of my favorite things to watch. I
Gets you
love like,
thinking, like,
yeah, I love like the Orient Express. I love
mm,
just a good whodunit show and movie.
yes, yeah,
And I love now reading thriller mysteries where you're trying to figure out like who did it, what's going
yes,
on. Like I
yes,
really am like vibing with that right
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I love a good
definitely,
murder mystery.
yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so secret powers or a secret past.
Secret
She's
pass.
like, what kind of questions are these?
Pass for no reason in particular. I'm gonna say that.
Okay, so talking to ghosts or seeing the future.
Looking to ghosts. Yeah,
Ghosts.
definitely. Yeah.
Perfect. Me too. I kind of like that.
Uh, I got ghost apps on my phones. I'm like, do not open that can of worms. I made a mistake.
She's like, we'll leave that there as
We'll leave
is.
that alongside. Yeah, just
Okay, so enemies to lovers or friends to lovers?
enemies to lovers.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love a good enemies to lovers. Give me the banter. Give me,
yeah.
you hate this person so much, but you just love that.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be like too dark. Like sometimes it can go quite dark. It's like, okay, fine. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, that kind of like wanting to just annoy them to then being like, oh no, that kind of like, because you know it's meant to happen. If it just
It's
happens,
so
you don't want it
exciting.
to.
And it's so exciting as a reader when you read it and you see it and
Yeah.
you're just like, you guys hate each other so much, but once you guys are
Mom.
together, it's gonna be epic. Like you're just
Yes.
waiting.
Yes, the build up. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
and then when it
Yeah.
finally gets there, you're just like, finally.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
awesome.
100% agree.
Dark alley stakeout or a rooftop confession?
Got too excited. You're giving me ideas about.
Good. Well, good.
Okay. Um, rooftop confession.
She's like,
may
"All my
happen
answers,
at
just
some
leave
point.
them. Just leave
Yeah,
them right there." She's like,
we're good.
"Just leave it."
Yeah, just leave them. But there will be some dark alley stakeouts. We'll put them in.
I love
We'll
it.
make it done.
This was so much fun. That wraps up today's episode
Cute.
of Page to Picture. A huge, huge thank you to H. Louise for joining us. We absolutely love chatting about your writing journey, the Lucenta Chronicles, learning what you love, where you got your inspiration from. Shout out to that random girl just walking down the street because without you,
Yeah,
Scarlett would not be where she is.
bless their heart.
Uh, before we go, where can our listeners find you on social media?
So I am H_Louise author. I'm pretty sure no H Louise author. One word, sorry. On Instagram. That's a good start, isn't it? I am on Instagram mainly. And I did have a TikTok, so it's probably still active, but I am an Instagram person. So please do reach me on there. Uh, yeah, I'm always there to answer messages if anyone's
Yeah.
ever.
That's perfect. And we will definitely tag you and put your social media on our podcast so people can just easily click it and find you and go along with the journey of your books. We are so excited. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review wherever you listen to your podcast. Do not forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at official page to picture for all things books, movie adaptations, and more. You can also find our link tree on Instagram. It has everything from new episodes, guest signups, and our new merch that we just launched. The Lucenta Chronicles is available now on Kindle Unlimited, correct? And
Yeah,
Amazon?
Amazon paperback. Yeah,
Oh,
Kindle
it's there.
Unlimited. Yes, you can get paperback. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's worldwide. And yeah, part one's available now. Part two will be available in the next sort of 3 months forecast, hopefully, if not
Eh,
6 months. Yeah.
Yeah, so grab your copy now so that when the next one comes out, you will be ready and you can just dive right into the next one. Ashley, thank you so much for joining our podcast. I hope you had a good time.
Had a lovely time. Thank you so much. It's been so fun. So
It's
happy to be here.
exciting.
It's been
Thank
great.
you guys for listening. Until next time.